Okay, before we start talking about what you can cook in your Instant Pot and how to transform some of your favorite family recipes for your Instant Pot, I think it's really important for you to know what your Instant Pot should not be used for. Pressure cooking is not ideal for every recipe out there. And if you take a look on the internet right now, you're going to find recipes for even cookies in the Instant Pot, which, no, just don't do that. Take it from me. Cookies in your oven are still going to be so much better tasting than cookies in your Instant Pot. But let me go over what you should not be using your Instant Pot for. Again, your Instant Pot cooks with moist heat. So anything that you want a crisp exterior or a breading or a thick reduced sauce, that's not for your Instant Pot. Anything that cooks under 20 minutes, you don't really want to use your Instant Pot because it's going to potentially take that long to come to pressure and to release to pressure. So don't look at it as a time saver. If you have a dish, a soup that cooks in 20 minutes, cooking it in your pressure cooker, the cook time may be less than 20 minutes, but the coming to pressure and the releasing of the pressure will equal a total of 20 minutes. Can it still be cooked in your pressure cooker? Probably, but just know going into it, it's not going to save you any time. Some things you definitely don't want to put in your pressure cooker are thickeners. There are some exceptions to that rule, but what I'm talking about is you don't want to make a roux on the bottom of your inner pot before you would bring your pressure cooker to pressure. So, like for my creamy cheesy chicken and rice, I start that recipe with a roux, which is butter and flour. You don't want to have a thick flour-based sauce or a cornstarch sauce made before you bring your Instant Pot to pressure. What that would do is it would cause the inner pot to get that burn notice or for your dish to scorch. And so you just don't want to do that. Instead, you want to add a cornstarch slurry at the end of the cooking time. And a cornstarch slurry is just 1 part cornstarch to 2 parts water. Typically 1 teaspoon cornstarch to 2 teaspoons water or other liquid. Mix that up. Once your cook time has elapsed, you open your Instant Pot, pour in your cornstarch slurry, turn your Instant Pot to saute, and let it bubble for a little bit, just like you would boil and reduce a sauce on the stove. That's essentially what you're doing by adding the slurry in at the end. Again, you don't want to add things with breading in the Instant Pot. Even if you were to use a rack, the breading could fall off the meat or the vegetables, hit the bottom of the inner pot, get that scorch warning. It also, because it cooks with moist heat, that breading's going to get soggy. It's never going to get crisp like you desire on breaded food. Another thing you don't want to add in your Instant Pot is dairy. Now, there's some exceptions again to that rule, but what I'm talking about is think about when you're cooking a sauce or oatmeal on your stove and you were to pour in 4 cups of milk and bring that to a boil. You know how milk can sometimes scald on the bottom of your pot, even when you're stirring it vigorously? That really will happen in your Instant Pot, and you're not there to stir it. So if you were to put milk in here, it would scald, it would get that nasty burn layer on the bottom, potentially would not be able to reach pressure, would not have a good flavor, and that milk too bubbles up and can get stuck in your little floating valve. And so then your floating valve can never rise up and reach pressure. A way around that is to cook pot and pot. You can make things like creme brulee, oatmeal, where you can mix dairy with water and your oats in a pot, mix it up, put it on your rack, pour water in, set it in, and cook. And that's a way around it. Yogurt too, because it's set at a special temperature, you can cook yogurt in your Instant Pot safely. Another thing your Instant Pot won't do is can. That's asked all the time. Supposedly they're coming out with a model that will reach temperatures safe for canning, but I can't comment on that because it's not out yet. And even once it's out, there's still some questions of if it's really safe. So just know canning cannot be done in your Instant Pot. It won't bring it to a high enough temperature for food safety. So those are some things that you should not cook in your Instant Pot. Remember, when you thinking about it, say, does this benefit from moist heat? Or does it need to be reduced or crisped up? If it needs to be reduced or crisped up, chances are you're better off using a more traditional method like the stovetop or the oven or the grill.